Welcome back, everyone. If you're involved in, well, pretty much any part of the modern digital economy, especially the crazy world of Web3 and crypto, you know what it's like. It's not just information overload. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose inside a tsunami.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. We're talking thousands of sources, right? X, Discord channels you need special access for, obscure forums, dense reports.
Exactly. All fragmented, mostly unregulated. And the actual signal-to-noise ratio, it's just, abysmal.
Trying to find real insight, what we call alpha, feels almost impossible sometimes. It's searching for a needle in a continent-sized haystack.
Which brings us neatly to our topic today. We're doing a deep dive into Kaito. Now, this is a project with a pretty ambitious goal, solving this noise problem.
And not just solving it, but maybe creating a whole new financial layer for information itself. They call it InfoFi. The founder's background is interesting too, a former quant researcher from Citadel.
Right, that tells you something. And we need to be clear, this isn't just about building a slightly better search engine, is it?
No, not at all. Our sources are saying even the big players, the institutional investors, hedge funds, you name it, they find it incredibly hard to separate useful signals from all that chaos.
The fragmentation is the real killer.
Precisely. That's why Kaito managed to raise, what was it, $10.8 million from top VCs like Dragonfly and Sequoia. They see this as a fundamental problem, needing a serious financial-grade solution.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive. We want to break down this complex system, InfoFi and Kaito, into simple, actionable insights for you. We'll kick off by really digging into the problem, then we'll unpack the core idea, what InfoFi actually is, using a simple analogy.
Then we'll get into the nuts and bolts, how the Kaito machine actually works. That's the really fascinating part.
Absolutely. After that, we'll look at what's in it for you, the user benefits, and finally, crucially, we have to talk about the big risks. What could potentially derail this whole thing?
Sounds like a plan. Let's get into it.
All right, so let's start right there. The problem. Why is crypto information so uniquely difficult to track? Why can't we just, use Google or check a Bloomberg terminal?
Well, it really boils down to two main things that traditional systems just aren't built for. The sheer volume and what you could call semantic fragmentation.
Semantic fragmentation, meaning the language itself is scattered and context-dependent.
Exactly. Think about traditional finance. Most important info flows through regulated channels, official filings, press releases, earnings calls. It's structured.
Okay.
Crypto, the real action, the stuff that moves markets, the alpha, it often breaks on social media first. A tweet, a coded message in a Discord, a complex governance proposal written in jargon.
Yeah, I mean, the word fork means totally different things depending on the context, right? Silverware versus a blockchain split.
Precisely. And traditional search engines, even sophisticated financial terminals, they struggle massively with that nuance, that specific language, and just the overwhelming unstructured flood of it all.
So it's not just inconvenient, it's a fundamental barrier to analysis.
It really is. For retail folks, sure, but even for the big institutional players, it makes effective, timely analysis almost impossible unless you're glued to screens 24/7.
Which kind of defeats the purpose of rigorous quantitative approaches.
Right, and that's the gap the Kaito founder, coming from that Citadel quant background, saw. An opportunity to bring order to that chaos using very specialized AI.
Okay, taming chaos with AI sounds good. But how do they actually turn that into a business, into something financial? Let's talk InfoFi, information finance.
Yeah, InfoFi. The simple pitch people sometimes use is Bloomberg for crypto.
I've heard that one.
But honestly, that kind of undersells the core idea. It's more radical than just a better data feed.
How so?
Well, the fundamental insight Kaito is built on is that right now, the economic value of information, of attention online, it mostly gets captured by the platforms themselves, X, Discord, Reddit.
Right, the platforms make the money, not necessarily the person posting the brilliant insight.
Exactly. Kaito wants to flip that script entirely. Their goal is to create a system where value flows back to the creators of quality content and the people paying meaningful attention.
Okay, so how? What's the analogy then, if not Bloomberg?
Think of it less like a search engine and more like an AI-powered stock market.
Yeah.
But instead of trading stocks, you're effectively trading attention.
Trading attention, wow.
Okay, and the big vision is to create a new economic primitive, where information isn't just something you consume passively. It gets actively tokenized, its value gets quantified, and then it can be traded.
So attention itself becomes an asset class.
Pretty much. The paradigm they're pushing is that quality attention, especially attention from knowledgeable people, experts engaging with content, is a measurable, scarce, and therefore monetizable asset.
Huh. So if I write some really insightful analysis about, say, a new DeFi protocol.
The Kaito network doesn't just register it. Its AI quantifies the quality and the attention it gets from important people, turns that into a score, like YAP point.
Yeah, points. Okay.
And those points become your gateway to actual economic value within their system. It's about shifting value from the platform back to the source of the insight.
That's a huge conceptual leap. No wonder they needed serious backing. That $10.8 million from Sequoia and Dragonfly makes more sense now. They're betting on this whole new economic model for attention.
Exactly. It validates the core belief. If you can accurately quantify attention, it could become a massive new economic layer, especially in Web3.
All right, that's the big picture, the vision. But now, let's get into the mechanics. This is where it gets really interesting and maybe a little mind-bending. How do they actually take a tweet or some random chat in a Discord and turn it into a quantifiable financial thing? It feels like magic.
It's definitely complex, but it starts with their core tech. They've built proprietary AI models, specifically large language models or LLMs.
Like ChatGPT.
Similar technology, but crucially, KIO claims their models aren't general purpose like ChatGPT. They've been trained specifically on the nuances, the jargon, the context of the crypto and Web3 domain.
Okay, so they supposedly understand crypto speak better.
That's the claim. They say their AI can understand the specific meaning of terms in context, analyze discussions across thousands of Discord channels at once, recognize patterns in governance proposals or tokenomic designs in a way general LLMs might miss.
So it's not just reading the words, it's trying to understand the meaning within the very specific Web3 conversation.
Precisely. And that specialized AI powers the core mechanism, which they call proof of attention.
Proof of attention.
And this is measured using those YAPs you mentioned. Those are their internal attention points.
Got it. YAPs attention points. How are they assigned?
So the AI scans all this fragmented content, tweets, posts, messages, and assigns YAP points based on a few factors. Originality is one, factual depth is another. But critically, it also looks at the authority of the interaction.
Okay, hold on. That sounds important. This is where the smart follower idea comes in, right? How they try to stop spam and low-quality stuff.
Absolutely critical. The smart follower concept is basically their quality filter. 1,000 likes from anonymous accounts or bots. That's worth very little in their system. It's noise.
So it's not just about virality.
Not at all. But if an authoritative account, think like a well-known core developer, a respected VC, a project lead, engages with your content, maybe retweets it, comments thoughtfully, cites it, that engagement carries exponentially more weight.
Okay, give me an example. Let's say Vitalik Buterin posts one original, insightful comment about a new scaling technique. How does Kaito weigh that compared to, I don't know, 100,000 bot accounts shilling some meme coin?
In Kaito's world, that single comment from Vitalik, because of his recognized authority and the likely depth of the comment, could generate a huge number of yaps. Hundreds, maybe thousands.
Wow.
It would instantly flag that content as important, push the creator up the rankings. Meanwhile, 100,000 bot likes on the meme coin. The AI recognizes that as low authority, high volume noise and assigns it minimal yap value.
So the system is designed to actively reward quality, depth, and influence over just making noise.
That's the intention, yes. It forces the value towards substance.
Okay, so I earn these yaps by creating good stuff or getting noticed by smart people. Then what? How do I actually, make money or get value from these points?
Right. The apps themselves are like your qualification score. They don't have direct monetary value on their own, but earning them is what gives you access to the economic layer.
Which is the Kaito token.
Exactly. Earning yaps is the prerequisite to participate in their yap-to-earn model. That's how you can potentially earn Kaito token rewards and, importantly, get access to their staking program.
And the tech side, you mentioned AI analysis. Where does the blockchain part come in? They use Base, right? Coinbase is L2. Why Base?
Good question. The architecture is actually a hybrid model. Most of the heavy lifting, the AI analysis, the app scoring that happens off-chain. It's centralized proprietary tech.
For speed and to protect their secret sauce, I guess.
Presumably, yes. Speed, scalability, and protecting their IP. But the financial layer, distributing the actual token rewards, handling governance votes, the staking that part is recorded on-chain.
Using their ERC20 token on the Base blockchain.
Correct. And the choice of Base is likely strategic. It's fast, has low transaction fees, which is important for micro rewards, and crucially, it aligns them with the big Coinbase ecosystem. That potentially offers easier user onboarding and maybe some institutional credibility.
Okay, the mechanics are becoming clearer. Specialized AI analyzing content, assigning YAP points based on authority, leading to token rewards on base. So, let's talk payoff. What does this actually mean for you, the person using Kaito?
Looks like there are two main groups benefiting here.
That's right, two very distinct user streams. First, you've got the high-end institutional user, the pro user.
And these guys are paying serious money, aren't they?
Oh yeah, the Kaito Pro subscription isn't cheap. Sources say it's somewhere between 833 hours and $1,099 per month. Wow, okay, hang on. $1,000 a month just for information access. Doesn't that immediately create a sort of information elite? Isn't that kind of against the whole Web3 idea of democratizing things?
That's a really important point, and it's definitely a tension in their model. Their argument, or defense, would be that they're providing institutional-grade alpha, signals that are so valuable, so timely, that for a hedge fund or a trading desk, that subscription cost pays for itself many times over.
So it's a B2B play at that level.
Exactly. And apparently it's working. The data suggests over 600 institutional teams are already paying that fee. We're talking big names listed as clients, the Ethereum Foundation, Pantera, Grayscale. They're using it because they believe the insights give them a real edge.
Okay, fair enough for the big players trading millions, but what about the regular user, the person creating content, participating in discussions? They're not paying $1,000 a month.
Right. For the regular user, the benefit comes through the Yap to Earn system, earning tokens for quality contributions. But the real hook, the thing driving massive engagement and demand right now,
Is this airdrop metagame thing?
exactly. This is where the tokenomics get really clever, maybe even a bit addictive. The airdrop metagame is the primary incentive for people to acquire and hold the Kaito token.
How does that work?
You stake your Kaito tokens. By staking, you receive a derivative token, Skyto. Holding Skyto is what gives you access or eligibility for future airdrops from other projects that partner with Kaito.
Ah, so Kaito partners with new upcoming crypto projects.
Often highly anticipated ones, yeah. The sources mentioned potential partners like Monad, Humanity Protocol projects generating a lot of buzz. These partners want access to Kaito's user base because Kaito has theoretically already curated them. These are the people proving their attention and influence by earning yaps.
So the Kaito token becomes more than just a reward or governance token. It's like a key, a master key that potentially unlocks a whole portfolio of future free tokens from other hot projects.
That's a great way to put it. A golden key. And that is creating enormous demand for the Kaito token itself, driving people to earn yaps, get tokens, and stake them immediately.
Which explains the staking numbers. What was it? Over $50 million worth locked up?
Yeah, around $54.8 million equivalent locked in staking last we checked.
Yeah.
It creates this powerful self-reinforcing loop. This strategy seems to be fueling their growth incredibly fast.
What are the user numbers looking like?
Pretty impressive. Sources report over 400,000 total signups already and around 300,000 monthly active users. That's rapid growth, largely driven by the allure of that airdrop metagame.
Okay, it's clearly innovative, grabbing institutional clients, pulling in users with clever tokenomics. Sounds pretty powerful. But projects moving this fast, trying something this new, always face major risks. What are the big clouds on the horizon for Kaito, according to the sources?
Well, what's really interesting here is that the biggest threats aren't necessarily technical failures or competition, although those always exist. The two major structural risks are legal and sort of philosophical almost.
Legal and philosophical. Okay, let's start with legal. That sounds serious.
It is. The primary one is regulatory risk, and specifically the SEC in the U.S.
Ah, the ever-present crypto concern. How does it apply here?
It applies very directly because of the InfoFi model itself. Tokenizing social interactions, creating this market around attention points that lead to token rewards and staking benefits. That puts Kaito potentially right in the SEC's crosshairs.
Under the Howey test, you mean, determining if it's an unregistered security.
Exactly. The Howey test looks for a few things, but the key one here is, are people investing effort or money, like staking Kaito, with a reasonable expectation of profit, derived primarily from the efforts of others?
And in Kaito's case.
Well, users are clearly putting in effort, creating content, engaging, staking tokens, hoping for profit through token appreciation in those juicy airdrops. And crucially, that potential profit relies heavily on the efforts of the central Kaito team. They're the ones building, maintaining, and constantly improving that proprietary AI engine that makes the whole system work.
So if the AI is the engine run by the Kaito team and users expect profit from interacting with the system powered by that engine.
The SEC could very plausibly argue that the Kaito token is an investment contract, an unregistered security, And if that happens, the consequences could be catastrophic.
Mm.
Delisting from exchanges, huge fines, maybe being forced to completely restructure the tokenomics. It's a massive gamble, high risk, high reward.
Definitely a sword hanging over their heads. Okay, what's the second major risk, the philosophical one?
It's what we can call transparency risk, or maybe the black box problem.
Meaning we don't really know how AI works?
Precisely. The core algorithm, the AI that decides what content gets yaps, who counts as a smart follower, what signals get flagged as alpha for those expensive pro subscriptions, it's completely proprietary. It's a black box, closed source.
No public code, no open roadmap for how the scoring works.
Nothing public about the core mechanics. And this creates a real tension, maybe even a contradiction, with the general ethos of Web3, right?
Yeah.
Web3 is supposed to be about decentralization, transparency, open protocols, auditable systems.
Yeah, how can you have a decentralized economy of attention if the central arbiter of value is a secret centralized algorithm run by one company?
That's the fundamental question. Users have to place complete trust in the Kaito team that their secret AI is fair, unbiased, and actually rewarding true quality. The project's justification, based on our sources, seems to be about performance and protecting their intellectual property.
They argue they need centralization and secrecy to be fast enough and accurate enough for institutions and to stop competitors from just copying their model.
That seems to be the rationale. They're prioritizing that performance edge, the thing that lets them charge $1,000 a month over the ideals of radical transparency and decentralization, a trade-off and a significant one. Hashtag 6. Final synthesis and provocative thought.
Okay, let's try and wrap this all up. If we had to summarize Kaito in just a sentence or two, what's the essence?
I'd say Kaito is essentially an AI-powered information finance platform. It's found a way to take all that chaotic, fragmented social data from Web3, quantify it using proprietary tech, and turn it into monetizable assets.
And it successfully attracted both ends of the market. High-paying institutional clients seeking alpha, and a large base of retail users drawn in by really powerful token incentives, especially that airdrop metagame.
Right. And if we zoom out and connect the dots, Kaito has clearly achieved significant product-market fit. The growth, the institutional adoption, the staking numbers they prove, the model resonates, and the network effects are strong. But fundamentally, it's built on a contradiction. It's a highly centralized, proprietary fintech engine that's secret AI black box wrapped inside a decentralized token economy.
Which brings us to the final thought, the provocative question for you, the listener.
Yeah. Can a project built on this kind of centralized, opaque foundation, especially while facing potentially existential regulatory threats from bodies like the SEC, can it truly deliver on the Web3 promise of a more open, equitable, and decentralized economy of attention?
Or is Kaito, despite its innovation, ultimately just becoming a new kind of powerful, centralized gatekeeper for information and alpha in the crypto world?
It's a crucial question, and how it plays out will likely shape a lot of the future discussions around InfoFi and the value of online interaction. Hashtag tag outro.
A question that really gets you thinking about where value comes from online. And that's our deep dive into Kaito and the emerging world of InfoFi.
Definitely a fascinating, complex project to watch.
Absolutely. If you found this discussion interesting, if you enjoyed us unpacking proprietary AI, YAP points, and airdrop metagames, please do us a favor. Like this, subscribe to the channel.
It really helps us keep going.
It does. We do all the heavy lifting, sorting through the noise, analyzing the sources, so you don't have to. We bring you the insights.
Thanks so much for tuning in and joining us as we explore this intersection of AI, crypto finance, and online attention.
We really appreciate you listening. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.